to support Weiser, moving down to support B-Voice. So maybe, just maybe, if Los Grandes can catch them on rotation, there could be an angle into this game.
We are getting ready for some action. We may see some very, very early as 5 stacks in the bottom lane from both teams. Pain Gaming just trying to disrupt the Heimerdinger turret placement at the start of the lane, and they have been successful. No summoners burned, no one dying, just a trade of damage in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is a pretty big win, actually, for Pain Gaming. They're going to get their Varus Karma off to a very good start in this lane, and now Karaoke can just go up to the top side and now clear down towards his bottom side. Weiser should win in the isolated 1v1 in the top side of the map, and Jace, if he's able to free scale up, can become a huge damage menace. Dean Kato even gets a ward on the red, so Pain... I mean, I'm liking the draft. They've already got a level 1 advantage. It may be minute. Obviously, execution will be the big thing. But on this match clear, with Varus Karma theoretically having the push, Karaoke should be able to come out ahead.
And I love how aggressive B-Voy and Damage are being, recognizing that they can go for these trades. And if Zay doesn't have those towers set up, then the Heimerdinger is a much weaker champion. And Jin not really great at the level 1 trading either. So I'm expecting kind of similar to last game, right? To have a lot of this early aggression in the bottom lane, a lot of contestation between these two duos. And that race for level 2, very, very important.
And I'm loving this from Damage as well, being willing to trade just a little bit of HP to keep those turrets down, because he knows that the thing that really matters, we talked about this last game at Okot, is bot lane push. That's why we're seeing these wacky bot lanes come out. Now Ignite thrown down.
Ooh, okay, that was...
spicy, maybe. Just a little spicy.
Intriguing, I was going to go with. There's level 2s are going to be hit fairly soon. It is Los Grandes bot lane who gets the advantage first. That's a flash trade from the two supports as Zay initiating the play, but not finding damage onto Damage.
Oh, you can just see how close this bottom lane is. Lava, low HP, Karaoke is lurking around, but even though Pain Gaming, they get the advantage early on in the level 1, it is Netunyo and Zay that do get the level 2 first, and I like the flash trade right there from Zay, able to just start dominating on this wave, and it does mean that Karaoke may not have an angle into this bot side. Not going to skip the blue buff, just going to hang around. Ranger is up in the clear just a little bit with the time that Karaoke spent in the mid lane. So we'll see if this Vi is able to get early access to this river, able to get a crab, able to protect Netunyo and Zay, and keep Karaoke out of this lane.
Oh, I think that's a very smart ward there from Karaoke, just to try and spot out if Ranger does want to end up moving towards that Scuttle Crab, but it does appear that both junglers are opting to clear a second camp on their bottom side instead of making any ingresses into this bottom lane into the river, as Los Grandes have solidly got the push, and Karaoke moving towards his walls. Actually, maybe Rangers thinking about an aggressive play.
Yeah, they will see the Vi showing on this ward. He is walking around. B-Boy and Damage both about half HP. Ranger spots out Karaoke, realizes that the play can't be had, just dropped back to the crab. And notice as well, not only is there pushing bot for Los Grandes, Lava, like, whoa, Damage!
Oh.
Mid push, that's what I was going to talk about, but Damage steals the crab, so the advantage is for naught. Cheeky from the support of Pain Gaming.
Well, and I tell you what, this means that Ranger is going to get double jungled, but Karaoke is not going to be getting both Scuttle Crabs. Either way, it's a small early advantage to the side of Pain Gaming, and because of that sort of spent time from the Vi, Karaoke is able to get into this top side, get his own ward down, so going to be able to spot each other out as we're coming off these resets.
And they're going to be able to perfectly track Ranger on a second clear as well, so really nice from Pain Gaming. Not only do you get the gold and the experience denied from the crab, which is nice, of course, but you're also getting that vision on the bottom side, and with the ward that Karaoke puts down, Ranger's pretty much going to be in full vision. Now, they should know where Karaoke is as well on the side of Los Grandes. It shouldn't be surprising that these junglers are going to handshake full clears, but we've talked so much about how great Pain Gaming's team fighting will be later on that I think this slower pace to the early game is a little bit favorable for them. Now, there is a CS advantage in the bottom side of the map for Pain that has amounted to a bit of a gold lead, but by and large, this game is very even. But level 6 will be coming online for Lava pretty soon, Ranger in about 2 to 3 minutes as well. So we'll see if that does sort of shift the tempo of this game.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really key breakpoint to watch because Ranger hasn't had too much of an impact yet. And
No.
you know what? It's only 5 minutes in, that's fine. But
Yeah.
when you are on the
We're
Vice,
chilling. We're chilling.
you want to be getting some stuff done at some point, right? Whereas Karaoke here on the
Right.
Sejuani, much more willing to wait a little bit, time scale up into these team fights where he can be that main frontline tank. So Los Grandes, maybe they feel like they need to make things happen a little bit earlier, and that's why we're starting to see some moves towards the river, a little bit of temptation almost to go towards this Drake and make pain come to you.
Yeah, Los Grandes is just doing a really good job of playing off of pushing lanes. They recognize that Lava has the push. They recognize that supports are going to roam on first base. So they walk over to mid just to cover Karaoke. Does pick up the Gromp before Ranger is able to get it in there, but he is spotted out. And Ranger, maybe with the push in bot, push in mid, thinking about starting up the Dragon, but Karaoke still lurking.
Yeah, gets on top of Zay, who has been locked down. That's a fair bit of damage coming through onto the Heimerdinger, but now damage is in the wrong side of the rift. It's going to get shot in the back of the head. First blood for Natuno.
Optimistic from damage to run up with a tether like that with no flash and Ranger in the area. Nice punish from Los Grandes to get first blood. And now maybe thinking about the Dragon or a kill on Karaoke.
Oh, maybe a kill on Zincado. Lava is very, very low on HP, but he's still going to get the stun. The roam from Hirit as well for the kill. Beautiful team play from Los Grandes.
And there's the level 6. There's the impact that you wanted, Middlecott. Dragon be damned. Hey, let's just get 300 more gold. That's what you like to see. We can take a look at this bot fight again. I like the idea from Pain Gaming. They sort of sneak in behind a Ranger, but once Zay gets out with the turrets and the deadly flourish, there's just not really a play, and damage just so far up in the river. You don't have flash, my friend.
Oh, and that feels absolutely awful, especially giving the first blood over to the enemy AD carry as well.
Yeah, first blood for Natuno is going to feel amazing. And again, I said, hey, I don't really think that Jin's doing that much damage, but if you get first blood, that's a good start to start doing damage. Already has a Newton Quiver on first base to B-Voi's Dirk and Tier, which, you know, in terms of combat stats, actually not too bad for the bottom lane of Pain Gaming, but we'll see how it works out later on. Los Grandes, they're actually up to about a 1,500 gold lead just 8 minutes in, purely off of those kills as well as the farm in mid and in bot. So that is a pretty substantial lead for this point in the game, despite the relatively low amount of action that we've seen. Herald has now spawned, and Pain Gaming does have a little bit of shove on the bottom side of the map, so we'll see if they're able to move up first and potentially contest for this. But Los Grandes, they have very powerful early skirmish potential, whereas Pain Gaming, I think they're going to need to pick maybe on to hear it should they want to make a play.
It is currently in that mini form, so a little bit more vulnerable. Less stats, less health, less resistances, and oh my word, that is an immaculate CC chain from Pain Gaming. Easiest kill of Wiser's life.
Well, but you can't play towards one side lane. B-Boy and Damage fall a little bit behind. What do? You play to the other one. Wiser gets a kill on this Jace. That is very nicely done, and that's going to be a Herald for Pain. They're right back in as it is just going to be answered back by Ranger on the Dragon. We'll see if the bot lane gets jumped on, but overall, nice play from Pain.
Yeah, and you can see their B-Voice positioning on the mini-map damage as well, standing a little bit further back. Maybe they were watching the last game, right, and saw how many bot lane dives came off, but showing that respect is a hell of a lot better than falling down. That means that it's just going to be an objective trade. Herald going to Pain Gaming, Drake going to Los Grandes.
And I am always going to take Herald for certain if I am the team. I know it was Trajan in my first day on CBLOL. I said, yeah, you know, typically people favor first Herald over first Drake, and he was like, Hawk. Here in CBLOL, we favor Herald over Drake no matter what, because it means we could set up a dive, we could set up a crazy play. So, hey, I respect it. That does mean, hey, Pain Gaming, they're in a good spot despite being down.
Yeah, and I mean, if we were talking about like maybe dive, maybe those tools being on Los Grandes, but Pain Gaming, absolutely. I mean, you saw how quickly here it was blown up by just Karaoke and Wiser. Yeah. If you take that CC from the Sejuani, put it in the bottom lane as well, when you've got B-Void and Damage to back you up as well, there's potential, right? So I think seeing where that Herald ends up getting placed is going to be really interesting. I want to see something that isn't just about getting gold, but getting a play off it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely what you need. Now, critically for here, it saved the flash when he ended up going down, which means it's not going to be super easy for Karaoke to find a good engage. And with Netunio having the cleanse as well, if you wanted to go bot side, you're probably looking at Zay to be the engaged target. So Los Grandes, despite giving up that 1 kill on the Herald, they're not too vulnerable around the map. And Pain Gaming just giving up bot wave a little bit, which is going to give a plate over to Netunio. This bot lane going very swimmingly for Los Grandes. And again, very mid-game focus composition for them, I think it's fair to say. So with this little bit of a lead, they are sort of playing to their win conditions, and they are playing towards the top side. I don't know if Karaoke spotted out Ranger.
Don't believe he did, but the Sejuani is going to be here to respond to the dive nonetheless. The teleport is going to be used as well. A 3v3 in the top side, and this could go disastrously for Los Grandes. Dinkedo is here, has the Emperor's Divide available. Karaoke forcing the flash away from Lava's Ranger. Thinking about Vault Breakering back in, but thinks better off it. And Los Grandes, they start off the play. Pain Gaming respond well.
Yeah, they get away with it, but Pain Gaming, nice response there to thwart the dive, not wanting to let Weiser go down. Damage is just half HP, level 500 tower, no big deal. It looks like Netunio fired off the curtain call as well as Zay's ultimate, so ults traded for a bit of damage in the bottom side of the map, giving Los Grandes another small advantage.
Yeah, and this bottom lane, I think, is really actually starting to become a problem, Hawk, because that CS differential has grown pretty substantially.
It truly has. I mean, it's now, what, 20, 25 in the lead, as well as 3 plates being taken down. That's like an additional 450 gold that Los Grandes has just printed off of that bot lane tower. Lava sticking onto that mid tower, not quite able to get the plate, always feels bad, but feeling pretty good about his position in the game. Likewise, has a CS lead, but that is his Emperor's Divide.
I mean, his position in the game is very, very close to Pain Gaming's tower, which I imagine isn't a great place to be. The stacking of the Permafrost is coming through, but he's buying as much time as possible. I don't think it is going to be enough for Lava, though, as Dinkedo takes him down.
Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, though, Weiser does get forced off the tower. No mana is going to have to take a bad base. So Herald getting summoned up in mid. Los Grandes has no one to respond immediately. Full HP tower does mean it should survive. We'll see how much they're able to get off of this play, and it's probably not going to be too much. So 1 kill traded, but plates, honestly, even across the board with Los Grandes' priority on the top side of the map.
Yeah, but I think a key thing for them is that gold advantage for Los Grandes. It hasn't grown too much.
True.
Apart from off those kills. And Pain Gaming are going to be happy about that, right? As long as the lead isn't growing as a proportion of the gold in the game, it's becoming less. And that means that you can rely a little bit on your skill and get this Azir. Now with the Leandries into team fights. When B-Void gets their first item, get them into team fights. You've got power. There's potential there.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've ever wondered why, you know, teams always say you need to grow your lead, not just go even. Oh, nice Chains of Corruption on Azir. Not going to be too much follow-up. But if you ever wonder why people always say you need to not just go even, but trade up, it is because of that proportion of the overall gold in the game that you so beautifully mentioned there, Middlecott. And critically, not only did Pain cut away at that proportion of the gold, it went on to Dinkedo, one of their big carries here on the Azir. So the solo laners are starting to come online, and although B-Void is a little bit down, this is still a Lethality Varus. Lethality Varus does not need too many items to really start to pump out some big damage, and it is more of a mid-game champion anyway. So as far as Pain Gaming's situation in the game is concerned, even though they're a little bit down, it's not like they're out by any stretch of the imagination. With Dragon spawning in 10 seconds, having Mythics on both of their solo laners does mean that they might be able to fight Weiser. I think once we crest 14 minutes, the TP not quite going to come up and available, but with his priority, maybe could hover down to the bottom side and look to fight with the team.
I mean, that's what this reset now would imply, as you see on the menu app heading towards the bottom side. B-Void has got the Yomu's Ghostblade for himself, so Pain Gaming actually on pretty decent item spikes themselves, but Los Grandes, they've got some pretty good components in those inventories as well.
Yeah, but Lava only having the Rod of Ages, which while that is a completed mythic, it's not got any stacks on it, so it's not very powerful right now. Los Grandes is baiting Dinkedo.
In a rough spot. He is level 11, but that's 3 members of Los Grandes who are going to be jumping on top of him, chaining the CC, getting the Azir down to 40% HP, down to 10% HP, but they fundamentally haven't killed him. Dinkedo forced to flash away for the ultimate shot, dodges 3, dodges all 4. And Pain are able to pick up the dragon in the meantime. Massive win for themselves, but Natuno not happy about it, looking to take another tower in favor of Los Grandes.
Yeah, but I don't know how good it is for Pain Gaming. They get the Dragon and Dean Kato able to get away as well, but it's a tower trade on the top side, a tower trade out on the bottom side, as well as quite a few waves. Los Grandes, they come up heavily, advantageously in gold. All of a sudden, this is a 3,000 gold lead. Pain, I think they gave up just a little too much to get that play, Middlecott.
Hey, Hawk, it's accelerating the gold lead. It's what
Yes,
we
sir.
were saying that Los Grandes needed to be doing. And when you're getting a sort of bigger gold lead at this point in the game, the fights start to matter more, and that gold lead becomes more important. You can use it more efficiently because it's not about Hextech Drakes, Ocean Drakes anymore, right? We start to look towards Barons, maybe even Dragon Souls as well as the objectives that you're fighting for.
Right, and especially this is only the first dragon of the game for Pain Gaming. It's not like there's some soul stacking that they're building towards. It's at best 15 minutes away. Now, here at about halfway to Mega, there are some sharks lurking in the water on the bottom side. Some electrical sharks. Those are always the scariest kind. Wiser going in.
Yeah, but that shot bar's not connected means that Wiser and Karaoke haven't really supplied too much damage to hear it. Oh, it's a brilliant flash away from the ultimate as here comes the Karma, dropping the ignite and the stun as well. It will eventually take out that Gnar, but a Pain Gaming losing anything on the map. We are seeing this Herald being taken away by Ranger.
Yeah, it's a good cross map, I think, just recognizing that they're not going to be able to contest on this Herald with the amount of control that Los Grandes has been applying on the top side of the map. But again, they're just giving up towers for it. Feels like Pain Gaming, they're taking so long to make these plays happen. Lava not going to be too upset about the 600 gold he's about to get injected into his inventory. So, I mean, Los Grandes, yeah, they give up one tower for it, but at the end of the day, it's not terrible.
And I kind of want to contrast this with the Liberty INTZ game earlier, right? That was a game which was a bit more action-packed, but we didn't really have a clear winner until INTZ really started to sort of pull away with the game as we got a little bit out of the mid-game. As it stands, though, this game has been a lot lower action, but Los Grandes, very slightly, but very clearly the team in front.
Right, and it's just sort of a contrast of styles between the games, right? Like, last game, there was virtually no cross-mapping at all. It was just psycho diving one lane over and over again and the other team trying to counter. In this game, right, there's way less psycho diving one lane over and over, a lot more cross-mapping, and it just does seem that Los Grandes, they are the better cross-mappers so far in this game, and that has led to this lead. Now, it's not to say that Pain can't bring it back. Again, I love their composition if they're able to get into the team fights, but when you're down 3,000 gold, can be a little difficult. Karaoke does have the ult if he does want to look for someone. Natuno, no flash, but has the cleanse. Ranger goes in onto Wiser.
Oh, and they're able to lock down the Jace. That ultimate goes wide. What a whiff on the Glacial Prison, and now Karaoke locked down under the tower. The rest of Pain Gaming going to be able to back him up, and they shouldn't lose too much off this play. Herald being summoned, but with the wave cleared out, it's just going to be a charge. That tower isn't going to be falling down. I think it's so vital for Pain Gaming that they hold this tower here. If this
Lava
falls
has
down,
ult.
then Los Grandes could accelerate the map.
Here
They are
comes.
going forward. They are diving underneath the tower, and they have locked down damage in the Glacial Tomb, and it will be his tomb as he falls into the Nether Realm, into his grave. The Herald's going to get another charge, and that is a big play for Los Grandes.
So beautiful from Los Grandes. I'm really impressed with just in week 2, day 2 of the split. This team looks so coordinated. Lava on the side with the ultimate, a gorgeous flank, able to get on top of damage, secure them another kill. They get the charge on the tier 2 as well. That's how you extend a lead, Middlecott. No cross map when you're diving mid.
Just run straight across the map and straight into the enemy team. Dragon's going to be spawning in 40 seconds, potentially another point of contestation, but obviously no soul point shenanigans quite yet. Lava TPing into the bottom lane, I think making Los Grandes' intentions known.
Pain Gaming, they're going to try to contest this, though. Again, no more cross map there, drawing the line in the sand, but 3,500 gold is the advantage. And if we look at the items here, it's sitting on 2. Natuno sitting on 2. Lava having the Zonias as well. This Lissandra probably going to be unkillable. Meanwhile, feels like no meaningful spikes whatsoever have come through for Pain Gaming in the last 10 minutes or so. They will potentially be forced back. Los Grandes, they're walking in as 4. They want to engage. Ranger has the cease and desist. Does not want to pull the trigger on the Sejuani, though.
Oh, yeah, yes, he does actually. Just completely throws Karaoke up into there, who can't get over the wall in time.
Oh,
Here he can, though, as he's going to slam damage against it and trade 1-for-1 with the Pain Gaming support. The 2-0 1v1ing with B-Boy on the top side of the fight, forcing the Varus to flash away, and it's Los Grandes. 4 members strong, but health bars a little bit blinking moving into the river.
Hold on. It's a 2-for-2, but Pain Gaming, the solo lanes do some damage. That's why you don't want to go onto the Sejuani right there. Pain Gaming, they're going to walk into the river. Wiser is a threat to be feared. Now, Natutuyo healing up quite a bit with that fleet footwork, and it does seem Pain Gaming ultimately will give up this dragon as their jungler was down, and their solo lane waves are a little bit screwed at the moment. So Los Grandes, second dragon of the game, does go over. It's a 1 engagement for them, but Pain Gaming, we are seeing signs of life, at least from the team fight, as the damage traded back was pretty immense.
Yes, it was, but it's still a fight that went in favor of Los Grandes. It's slowly starting to slip away from Pain Gaming, but like you mentioned, you're seeing the damage potential out from Dinkato, particularly in this fight on that Azir. Absolutely ridiculous. And as Los Grandes play with fire, if they go a little bit too far forward, the punish potential is absolutely there.
And we are starting to see as well, it's going to get more and more difficult for Ranger to find a suitable engage for himself in these fights. Good patience to wait until the entire team was out of range to support Karaoke before pulling the trigger on the cease and desist. But looking forward, once the Karma starts to get stronger, now having the Shurelya's online, once Karaoke starts to get tankier, the targets that you might find access to are going to be more difficult. And finding Dean Cato, B-Boy, or Wiser, they're going to try to play at arm's length. You're going to have to go pretty deep to get back onto them, you'd have to think.
I mean, that's what you were talking about in Champions Select, right? There's engaged potential. You can definitely start a fight on someone. Right. But the question is it someone that you actually want to be starting a fight on? If you're pumping 3 ultimates and around about 10 seconds of cooldowns into Karaoke, absolutely brilliant. You're probably going to end up losing that fight.
Yeah, truly. And especially, again, when you're looking at something like the Jhin being tank shred and Lissandra as well, not the highest DPS mid laner in the game, it's going to get pretty difficult to shred through Karaoke. And I think Los Grandes, they're recognizing that. They know Karaoke, hey, he's not too strong right now. Let's just flip the Baron.
Yeah, down to about 4,500 HP. Wiser is going to be TPing in. Karaoke does have the flash available. Has already used the ult to not get too much into the pit, but no steal is going to come out. Ranger picks that one up, but now Los Grandes gonna have to evacuate the area. Karaoke going over the wall as the curtain call is being opened up, and actually we're looking at potential re-engage here as they're diving forward and taking out the Jace. To trade those Ranger falls down, those piercing arrows do so much damage, and Los Grandes have got very little HP to play with. Tuto, though, absolutely fine for the time being, as that's a little bit of a 1v2 on the top side. Dinkato able to get a kill before Herrick could take him out, but Tuno still standing strong on the chin. The health bars are so low, but they remain on the rift for the time being.
Oh my word, Los Grandes, they get away with it. It feels like a robbery in broad daylight. They recognize that they have to force the game, and Ranger, ice cold on the smite, denies it from Karaoke, and the disengage does come through. Now, Pain Gaming, they have managed to delay the Baron push quite substantially with the kills that they were able to get, and it honestly looks pretty good for Pain Gaming. They get massive chunks onto basically everybody in the front line, but Karaoke and Wiser, they just chase a little too far forward, and look, Enze and Lava over the wall, re-engaging this fight forwards to try to force Pain back. It does end up being a 1-for-1, but as the fight breaks down, everything just becomes so split, and this, you'd have to think, is gold at work. Dean Cato does a lot of damage, but not quite enough to win the 1v2, and I think this is the part of the fight that is most impactful. If Dean Cato cleans both these up and survives, it's probably a win for Pain Gaming in the grand scheme of things, but rather with him going down and not being able to kill Herit, it doesn't end up being much of an advantage at all.
And like you mentioned, that is a big Baron for Los Grandes, but they've already used a couple minutes of his timer and not been able to push too far into the base of Pain Gaming. Lava is level 16 on the cast, on the Lissandra, on the casting, blimey. Oh, That'd have been terrifying. But just the Lissandras, you still get the upgrade to the help. Not quite as terrifying as the Void Walker, but still going to be providing a lot of that CC and has a lot of tankiness, so very, very difficult to burst.
Imagine if Cassidy could also, on top of everything he does, CCU for like 5 seconds. That would be horrible.
Well, I think Death is like the best CC, so
That's true. That's true. He can CCU for like 40 seconds if he gets on top of you at this stage of the game. But
yeah, normal Dota stun there.
oh man, Los Grandes, they're just continuing to siege here on the bottom side. I'm a little surprised that they're not sending Herit to a side lane to try to push out. He does have the Baron on him, but I mean, every time I see Lava flanking behind one of these towers, I'm just waiting to see the claw sent in and the dive to come through. Los Grandes finally starting Herit into the mid lane. Top wave is slow pushing in their favor back out, I do believe, based on the mini map right there, but honestly, this is a pretty inefficient Baron push, Middlecott. They're not getting a whole lot off this.
I mean, what, you get the gold for getting it, and then they've been able to get a little bit of pressure and priority around this dragon, and considering there is an Infernal Rift, stacking these up can be very beneficial. That extra AD and AP is very, very useful, and now Los Grandes actually at a soul point, so maybe not the most flashy Baron usage, but it did the job.
Yeah, they did still get it, and they did still get the dragon as well as a Fat Fingers of Flash right there. That could be impactful. I don't think Pain Gaming saw it, fortunately, but yeah, Los Grandes, they're still 6,000 gold ahead, or 5.5. They're still in a great spot in this game, and Pain Gaming will be forced to fight in 5 minutes. So we'll see what the item spikes look like at that point. Weiser is almost at the Serelda's Grudge, and he really is the one that I am looking at to be the big carry later on this Jace. Already doing so much damage. Dean Kato as well, having the Void Staff. Pain Gaming is getting strong. Los Grandes, yes, the Baron was something, but I'm looking for a back-breaking advantage to come through pretty soon before this game might get a little challenging.
And the thing for me, right, is Karaoke on this Sejuani still hunting for that second item nearly 27 minutes in. And so this composition for Los Grandes, which we thought might have difficulties dealing with tanks, well, good news, you don't have to deal with a tank at the moment.
No, not at all. Karaoke, not particularly tanky. And speaking of itemization as well, I noticed this earlier in the game. Here it went for the chainsword second. Oh, okay, that's a spellbook. Here it went for the chainsword second on the Gnar, which into a comp that doesn't look like it's going to be healing that much. I know the stats are decent, but that's pretty surprising as, Karaoke misses onto Zay, and now Lava on the flank.
Oh, Glacial pour in. He's only going to be able to lock down 2 with the Ring of Frost, actually, and 50% HP, but it doesn't matter as Weiser is gone. The big carry that Pain Gaming needed is not going to be able to contribute to the rest of this fight. Natuno firing out that last shot. Just a single kill for Los Grandes, so they can't get too much off it. But, again, another one fight for the blue side team.
And it's another one, another pick on someone I expect to be a big carry. It's another one onto Weiser. Ranger clearly has his target laid out. Los Grandes, it's probably just going to be a kill. It's probably not going to be too much else, but it's just more and more control of the map. It's more time that Pain Gaming can't contest for anything.
And it feels like that's just the way Los Grandes are playing, right? They use that Baron to get that Drake. There's another Baron spawning in 15 seconds. They've been heavily focused on playing it safe, just getting as much vision, getting as much map pressure as they can so they can retreat back to these objectives, and Pain Gaming can't respond.
It's so difficult. Looking at the levels as well, Herit and Lava both level 17 at just 28.5 minutes in. Weiser and Dean Kato both have not reached that coveted level 16, or rather, coveted on the Azir. I guess it doesn't matter that much on the Jace, but Karaoke as well, only level 12 on the Sejuani. He's nearly only the same level as the enemy support, which that feels bad.
It's same level as own support. Yeah, not great as Los Grandes are moving over towards the Baron. Lava tried a one-shot B-Voy, who cleanses and flashes very smartly to get away. Karaoke taking 30% of his HP as damage, and that's all you need to do. Use that ultimate, get that chunk in Los Grandes. They continue to have this pressure around the top side river, and they are continuing to play this nice and slow, nice and controlled, not doing anything stupid.
No, they really aren't. Los Grandes, again, so impressed with the coordination at this point in the season. They clearly understand what their win conditions are, despite, I would say, a fairly difficult draft to execute. So credit where credit is due with Baron on the map. I have a feeling this team wants to force it. They were not shy about forcing the Baron with very little priority earlier on. And hey, if it works, it works. Ranger, again, ice in his veins. Just hit the smite, man.
Just press D,
yeah.
and then the button goes off, and you get the Baron. Lava,
Easy.
maybe getting jumped onto, can path over the wall, but Los Grandes are actually just going to use this as an opportunity to fight. The Karma's been caught out in a jungle and sent back to the fountain. Another pick for Los Grandes, and what are they going to do, Hawk? They're going to go right back to the Baron.
Ranger's going to try to press D on the Baron at the right time once again, and Pain Game, oh, this is getting melted. Are they even going to be able to get in? Karaoke coming around, Baron down to 4K.
Oh, can he be the hero that Pain Gaming need?
Here
The Baron DPS has been stopped. Very, very smart play from Los Grandes as they get the Baron, and they're going to get the fight in the jungle as well. 3 members of Pain Gaming are dead. B-Boy is not long for this world as the Tuno slipes him down, and Los Grandes are going to try and push for the end.
Los Grandes is just too clean. The turn from Hira and Lava onto Karaoke is beautiful. The flash comes out defensively from the Sedge. Middlecott, this could be it. Death timers still at about 30 seconds for a couple of the carries. Inhibitor turret getting focused down.
It's all on Wiser. These accelerated shot blasts are so pivotal. If he can get them onto Lava, if he can get them onto Natuno, these big carries remove their HP from the board, then Pain Gaming may have a chance. Karaoke has just respawned. 10 seconds on Dinkado, 10 seconds on B-Boy. Can the trio, the 3 Musketeers do it? No! Hear it with an amazing ultimate. Secures himself a double kill and will secure Los Grandes the game. Dinkado and B-Boy are here, but they are too late to stop the Los Grandes onslaughts.
Los Grandes improving to 3-1. That's a 2-0 week, and what an impressive game coming out from them. I mean, look, Pain Gaming, I think it's fair to say, made a few mistakes, but Los Grandes, you give them an inch, clearly they are going to take a